Good afternoon. Welcome to a very special showcased event. I have with me a number of representatives from some very special chapters this year. As you all know, my biennium theme, Ready, Set, Grow, has an accent on grow. And I remember when I was in the classroom, I would be so mad and so offended when everybody would run around going, my kid scored a 5, my kid scored a this, my kid scored a that. And as a teacher that generally had low functioning students that were at risk for everything in life, that was offensive to me. But instead, I could go around and go, guess what? My students grew 3 grade levels this year. My students grew. That's what's important. And then to me, that's what is important in Delta Kappa Gamma. That's what's important at the chapter level and at the state level. So when I started this, or someone asked me to think about doing this, my thought was not on, I'm going to outscore you. That was not where I went. I went instead that we have chapters that are really struggling to succeed. Agree? There are a few on this screen right now, really struggling to succeed. Then we have other chapters that are kicking it in every aspect. We have some of those on this screen. But what we are all have in common is the desire to grow, not to be the same we were yesterday and be different for tomorrow. Because with growth is transformation. And I think that's what we all need to look for in the upcoming years, days, whatever. So with that said, I welcome this group, and I would like for you to go one at a time. I'm going to ask you by name, and if you will introduce who you are and what chapter you're from, and not necessarily your region, but what part of the state. Like, I'm from Asheville. That's what works for me. It helps me get a geographical location. I think that's most beneficial as well. So we'll start with Brenda. Brenda, if you'll please introduce yourself, what chapter you're from, and what city you're probably closest located to. And remember to unmute yourself.
That would help.
Yes, thank you.
I'm Brenda Reese. I am president of the Alpha Gamma chapter, and we serve Watauga and Avery counties, but the nearest city or town is probably Boone, North Carolina.
Excellent, and that's what we would recognize in the Boone area. And when we get our new directories this coming year, you will notice that the map has been updated or edited to include landmark cities. So that when you're talking to someone and you say, I'm from region 4, more likely you're probably going to say, I'm near Wilmington. Even if you're not really near Wilmington, you're region 4, that's what we think of when we think about that region or that area. Okay, so Ms. Kim, if you'll go next. And remember to unmute yourself. Can't hear you, Kim. You're unmuted, but you're not audible.
Oh, no.
All right, turn yourself up. There you go. Okay. No. All right, I'm going to go to Zoe while you work on it. Okay, Zoe, go. Remember to unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm Zoe Dillard. I'm the outgoing president of Beta Delta. We're one of, I believe, 4 chapters in Greensboro, in the Greensboro area. That's it.
Thank you. All right, Connie.
I'm Connie Marks, near Wilmington, live in a little place called Rocky Point. And Teresa, I have to tell you, I wanted to tune into this, but I have a 2:30 appointment, and I just received notice that they're ready for me. So Kim is going to represent Theta. So we're not, losing me is not losing a chapter.
No struggle. Okay.
See all of you, and I'm glad I could be here for just a minute.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
How about Miss Melissa?
All right, hello. I'm Melissa Parks, and I'm with Alpha Pi chapter. We're located in Chatham County, which is like the Siler City, Pittsburgh area.
And Cornelia?
I'm Cornelia Kerr. I will be, for the 3rd time, president of Alpha Mu. We are in Concord, very close to Charlotte.
Nice. Thank you. And Christy?
I'm Christy Whitworth. I'm the incoming president of the Gamma Upsilon chapter in Brevard, North Carolina.
Thank you. And Lee?
Lee Humphrey, and I am the incoming president at Beta Nu, Winston-Salem.
Excellent. And then Jessica?
Great day. I am Jessica Austin. I am the current co-president of Beta Iota chapter, and we represent the Durham and Person County chapter. So we are 3 chapters that are in Durham County, but our chapter specifically has members from Durham and Person County.
Person County. And if you all have watched the scholarship announcement showcase that was online, Miss Jessica is our new winner of the large doctoral scholarship because she is working on her doctorate. So Jessica, congratulations to you. And on that growth step, personally and professionally, loving the hand claps. Nice job, lady.
Thank you, ladies.
So with that said, I'm going to go to a split screen because all of you probably have no idea why you were invited today. And I didn't tell you because I wanted you to be surprised. And that surprise is that all of you are or have something special in common. Because when you started your year and you decided you were going to work on your chapter achievement, you had 2 things in common. Number 1, you may have never turned one in. So there are some of you today with me that had never submitted a chapter achievement before. Congratulations for submitting a chapter achievement, maybe for the first time ever. There are others on the screen that are joining us today that have always done chapter achievements, but you had another special qualification. You grew in communications and marketing skills this year, whether that be for newsletters, websites, or the Total Communication Marketing Excellence Award. So I wanted to call attention to very specific chapters that grew in specific ways this year, since that was our biennium challenge. So I start with something I read recently. How many of you know who Jillian Michaels is? I do, and I used to love to watch her on The Biggest Loser years ago. But Jillian Michaels says something that to me meets what we're talking about today. It is not about perfect. It is about effort. And when you bring that effort every single day, that's where transformation happens. That is how change occurs. And I'd like to add to that, NCDKG chapters and sisters and members, that is how we grow. And that is why you guys were all invited today. Because there were a certain group of you that made submissions this year that might have never done it before. And that was a huge growth step for 2020. So on behalf of the NCDKG Awards Committee, I'd like to recognize these groups. These chapters from across the state submitted a chapter achievement this year and might have never done so before. I would like to congratulate Delta Zeta, Gamma Tau, Theta, and Beta Nu, and Gamma Upsilon, all across the state, regions 1, 3, 5, 9, 11, all the way across the state, for submitting a chapter achievement this year and doing quite well. One of them, even on their first time submission, scored an excellent score. So congratulations for job well done. Please notice as well, there are 2 chapters highlighted in yellow that will be revealed in a few minutes. So it was really special and important that all of you were here today to be able to hear me say to you, congratulations and thank you for your effort and for your work on the chapter achievement, because I know of which it is so difficult. My chapter, we're way too competitive. So I understand that it can be quite difficult. But remember, we don't all have to do it to be a successful chapter. It is a nice guidance for things of a successful chapter, but you don't have to do everything to be growing. So congratulations to you 5. Would Delta Zeta, Gamma Tau, Theta, or Beta Nu, or Gamma Upsilon like to say anything before I proceed?
We'd like to say thank you and to all of the folks that help judge this and put the awards together.
You're welcome. Thank you, Christine. Congratulations, Gamma Upsilon. Anybody else? Can't hear whoever that is.
Kim.
Kim.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to move forward because the next reason that you all are here is some of you, like I said before, made growth in communications and marketing. And that was really difficult to judge and find information for. So as you know, the R in GROW, for Ready, Set, Grow, is using research-based strategies to make a difference. And data collecting to me is extremely important. So I really challenged the Communications and Marketing Committee to look at growth. Look at what was done last year across our state within chapters for newsletters, websites, and the Excellence Award, and see what chapters actually made growth. So yes, a lot of us still got the digital badges. I'm so proud of them, and they will be recognized as well in a virtual presentation, just virtually, and then it'll also be captured in our upcoming special edition of newsletter. But this is different. These are chapters that made a growth in those areas. So on behalf of that committee, let me share with these. We had chapters in region 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there are others. So Delta and Omicron, Gamma Theta, Theta, Alpha Pi, Beta Iota, and Beta Pi. Notice once again the yellowed chapter. And then the others that made growth in communications and marketing were Beta Delta, Alpha Mu, Alpha Gamma, and Beta Nu. So now that you see communication and marketing is extremely important and needs to be recognized because it is the one way we can make a difference in marketing membership. So when you think about ways to grow this year in communications and marketing, two of the key things, newsletters and websites. And websites also include social media outlets. Facebook, we are finding, is the #1 way for marketing. And a lot of these chapters grew in that area in creating additional marketing tools. So congratulations to my growing and thriving chapters for communication and marketing. Now, has anybody figured out the yellow chapters, Beta Nu and Theta? Did anybody recognize why they were recognized? Someone unmute and tell me why you think they were recognized and highlighted. Anybody notice? Those two particular chapters grew in both areas. Beta Nu and Theta submitted chapter achievement, possibly the first time ever, and grew in the areas of communications and marketing. So not just to those two, but to everyone that's here today. Congratulations, ladies. You grow, girls, my favorite phrase. And I have said that since I was a child. My mother was an avid gardener. So we used to say that all the time. She had 3 daughters. So you grow, girl means a lot to me. But guess what? This growth that I can recognize for you guys means as much because it means you are taking to heart that which is important. But I always think about that last thought there. Wonder what 2021 holds for each of you. Because with that, we know there is always future growth. I love this phrase, and I hope you read it recently in the Ada Data. If you're not growing, Dolly Parton said, I think it was Dolly Parton, said what? You're like last night's cornbread. What? Stale and dry. And my mother used to say, if you're not growing, you're dying. So we want to make sure that no one is lost, even during this horrific time, that all chapters can grow, all chapters can see themselves differently tomorrow. And my goal as your state president is to encourage you to do that, so that I'm asking you now to take it to the next step. Find what you can do differently to make your chapter thrive. Those of you that are new incoming presidents, kick it up. Those of you that are outgoing, thank you and God bless you for what you've done for 2 years or maybe 4 years, or like Cornelia there, 6 years now. But we thank you for that. And remember, there are persons in this state that are ready, willing, and able to help. And that's what we do. That's why you've asked us to be your leaders. So it is never a problem to ask. It's only a problem when you don't ask. So don't hesitate to reach out. Don't hesitate to say to your others, we could use some help, but we can also continue to grow as a group and grow as a state, which then is influencing across international. Before I close, I will tell you one thing that happened just this morning. I would not have shared this, but it just happened. I was in a virtual Zoom meeting with 100 other women that are all organizational presidents for the international. And this would have been a workshop we were supposed to have had in a couple of weeks in Philadelphia, the leadership group. And one of the women said, and I was so pleased that I could hear her say this out loud. She said, recently I was reading international newsletters, because all the presidents get copies of people's from the different regions. And she said, I read something in the North Carolina newsletter that sparked me to think we need to be growing. We need to be doing things differently. Now, I'm not a prideful person, but I just about cried. I was so excited that she called us out by name to say something that we're doing in our state motivated them to grow. So with that said, if you will, unmute yourself and tell me anything you need to say before we close this showcase of my special chapters that have really taken to heart, see how we grow in 2019, 2020, and what's coming next. Anybody have anything they want to share?
I just wanted to thank you for showcasing us today and taking time. There's so many things that are going on around us that bring people down and are sad. And so this is a happy moment as we go into the weekend. So I thank you so much for that. And I'm happy on behalf of my chapter.
Excellent. Thank you, Jessica. And I'm glad you could be here.
One of the things we did this year was to try to look at who are our members, what age ranges were they, what subject areas were they involved in. So this year, when we were recruiting new members, we made a conscious effort to get those 20 to 40-year-olds involved as new members. So we will be doing an induction actually on June the 30th with some of those new people. Hopefully it'll lower our average age range.
Very nice, very nice. So keeping in mind everything that you can do that will make a difference toward growth. And self-reflection, we know, is one way for us to grow personally. Chapter reflection is the way to do that at your chapter level, really looking at that. So congratulations. I'm very proud of you. And I would like to ask you also as well to spark that energy across the state. So send me those newsletters, create those websites, market those programs out there so that we can brag and brag and brag. Because I love it when I see people's faces do what your faces are doing, that you're smiling. Because Jessica said, there's enough sadness right now. We can be the difference. And I believe that. I know that. And I am very proud to be able to tell people that I'm a Delta Kappa Gamma member. I'm from North Carolina, and these women rock. So going back to my middle school trade, middle school time, these ladies rock. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. And have a phenomenal rest of this summer. and the phenomenal rest of the upcoming biennium. For some of you that are brand newbies, and those of you that are leaving us as officers, you're never gone, are you? You're never gone. Just means that you are building leaders for the future. This will be showcased on the international, on our NCDKG website once it is edited and cleaned, and then it will also be on social media, showcasing our growing chapters. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.